one-man gang. His opponent from Amarillo, the Colonel himself, Buck Robley.
Lumberjack style match. The one-man gang versus Colonel Buck Robley. Says nobody calls me yellow. As he motions for General Skandar Akbar to leave the ring, Alfred Neely calls for the bell. Bill, a wild one coming up.
That's right. There's 11 men stationed outside that ring. Anybody, either contestant that gets thrown out, gets thrown back in. You hear the crowd chanting for Buck Robley. They want him to go, but he's up against a big, huge, awesome man. Skandar Akbar feeling pretty confident, and the stipulation is that if Buck can beat this man, Akbar said he'd put the tights on and wrestle Buck himself here next week on TV. But he's pretty confident that Buck can't pull it off. And I just say this, that it looks like a hard road to hold for the Colonel. The Colonel is shrewd. Ring-wise, he's almost like the Bionic Man. Matter of fact, he's got so much steel inside his body that he used to set off those metal detectors when he'd go to the airport. They used to have to pull him aside and run the detector over his arm where all that steel pinnage is in there. Got steel in his veins too, got a lot of heart. He'll try, he'll fight. He doesn't say you can't whip him. He just says that you got to prove it each time. There they sail him out, and the Lumberjacks are right around there, and they're throwing him in. That's what they do. Anywhere they go, they got to put him back in the ring. A one-man gang's certainly going to have the better of this, I feel. It'd be almost impossible for Buck to throw the one-man gang out. He's just too big. Saw Mr. Olympia earlier. He and the Junkyard Dog had been here earlier before the TV went on to do some promotional work, and I was talking to them about their title and what they felt about DiBiase and Dugan, and they said they were willing to settle it any time, any place, anywhere. Buck fighting back, the people cheering for him. Believe you me, this helps these guys when you cheer. There, Robley got out of the way. That's a key move. He's going to have to use that speed. He's going to have to stay on top of it. He's going to have to outmaneuver mentally this big, huge man. Uppercut. The Colonel, you see that brace on his arm. He's been noted to load that brace and use that thing as quite a weapon. Right now, he's got the one-man gang. He wanted to take a powder. It's going to take all 11 of them to throw him back in there, but they got him in. Buck's going for the count. There's where he's smart. He rolled right when the man rolled in, when he's the least defensive, Buck jumped on him and tried to get the pin. That's the difference in Buck Robley. He'll try to cut the corner and take the edge. He knows that from both sides of the track, he's not out there to impress anybody, just to win. The Colonel is after him. And of course, the other weapon the Colonel has, if he can lock that sleeper up on that man, I don't care how big you are. Actually, the bigger your neck, the faster they can put you unconscious when they cut the blood off to the carotid arteries to the brain. Murdoch cheering Buck on. Front face lock. That'll start cutting down some of that wind and some of that blood going up into the brain right there. Front face lock. Colonel Robley. The big man's got to get down on Buck's level. If he can hang on, that's cutting that wind off all the time that he can hold him. A big man can't breathe as well. He can't fill those lungs full of that oxygen, and that's the key to any athlete. That's the gasoline that his whole body, his whole machine operates on, is oxygen. If you starve that oxygen off, you can make the toughest man in the world have not a lot of courage. But that big one-man gang just threw Buck off, and that weight, the size and strength of his mass alone. There he goes, a big body slam. Oh, looking tough for the Colonel. Wrestling too there is cheering him on. Even the guys outside the ring. Iron Mike Sharp, who Buck Robley was instrumental in helping Iron Mike win the Louisiana title. Iron Mike cheering him on. Captain Redneck Dick Murdoch with his All Japan Pro Wrestling shirt on out there. The man who's been 18 times to Japan is an international star over there. He's cheering the Colonel on. But I just don't know what can help Buck against the awesome size and power. And of course, the Lumberjacks, they can't let Buck rest. They're duty bound to throw him right back in the ring. And there Buck's put back in, and one-man gang goes for the pin, but Buck manages to get out. The one-man gang sensing victory. Skandar Akbar confidently smirking over there. He lost $1,000 to Buck here last week, but Buck has spun out again. The fans are cheering. I even heard one kindly old lady over there hollering, "Break his arm." And I'm sure Buck would certainly like to put the man in a lot of excruciating pain. Buck ducked it. Drop kick. Whoa, the big man tried to catch himself, but he was too far gone. He went over, and look at all the Lumberjacks sailing him in. But it's taking his toll on the Colonel. They're rolling him in, but I don't know if Buck has got it. When you go against somebody with that much mass, it takes so much strength out of you. The only man that's been able to pick the one-man gang up and just thump him is the Junkyard Dog, but Buck's on his back. Buck's up on his back. He's got the sleeper. This is the one hold that can equalize it all for Buck. The gang knows it, so he fast got to the ropes to dump Buck out on the floor. Buck went clear to the concrete floor. The Lumberjacks are putting him in. Buck Robley's in. I don't know how bad that hurt him going all the way to the floor. The one-man gang body slamming him, and I think Buck looks like he's in a lot of pain and a lot of trouble right now. The one-man gang, 454 pounds, and Buck got out of the way. Both men struggling to get to their feet. This battle's taking a toll on them. Buck drop kicking the man. One-man gang, his head hit that top turnbuckle. Buck's loading it. Buck's loading up that brace, and the one-man gang's head took a shock into that buckle. The one-man gang struggled to his feet, and Buck comes off with that brace. 1, 2, 3, the whole crowd counted it, and Robley has won. Skandar Akbar will have to face him here next week.
And it was a tremendous Lumberjack-style win for